1 year ago, I did one of the craziest things I've ever done. I went on the rooftop of my building and I set a camera, started filming myself, and announced to absolutely everybody, at least the people that were following me at the time, that I was going to open up a private members club for entrepreneurs in Barcelona, even though I didn't even have a space. I didn't have the money, the resources, the know-how. I didn't have absolutely anything but a dream. So I decided to do that. I think this was around June 2023. And 2 months later, in September, we opened up the very first Charisma social club space. And fast forward to now, Charisma is now one of the most prominent entrepreneur communities in Barcelona. We have almost 200 active members. My life has completely shifted, and today I want to share with you how I actually made it happen in such a short period of time and all the lessons I had along the way. So how did I actually make it happen in just 2 months? At the time, I only had a WhatsApp group chat with entrepreneurs, creatives, and just some other friends, right? Well, the way I did it was through the power of strategic alliances. I found a co-working space called Club Caramel in the city center that had just opened, right? They had all the expertise on around how to run the co-working, how to do all the nitty-gritty things that I had no idea about. And I could just focus purely on what I was able to do best. Bring in the people, the community I already had, and creating all the different events. Obviously, it was super stressful trying to put all of that together in such a short period of time. But we actually made it happen. And at the very beginning, I was constantly coming not just to all the events, we had around 4 every single week, but also showing up to the co-working space every single day. Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to build community, it's not like you build a product and you sell it and you forget about it, you're working from the Maldives and whatever. You have to show up. You have to be that role model. You have to set the tone for the culture to start to be created. But then in October, I hired my very first person to really start taking the business to the next level. So the very first person was Nati. Nati she's an angel. She's a sweetheart, okay? And she was actually hired at the very beginning to be able to help me with the events. She was helping me create, the event pages, talk to the different hosts, the speakers, making sure that all the events were able to run as smoothly as possible. Around that same time, I also offered a free co-working membership to someone who could help me just film the events, literally with just an iPhone. And that person was Stavros. Stavros has now become probably one of the most important people in the team. He is my business partner, and he's now leading the entire marketing department, which consists of Merve, who is the content creator. She joined around January or something like that. Ever since she joined, our content game and our brand has just gone through the roof. Also, until July, she actually left this week. We had Maud, our social media manager. She was doing an internship, but it never really felt like she was an intern because she took on so much responsibility. Now in August, we're going to get some new interns, which I'm really, really grateful for. So the business is divided really now into 3 parts. We have marketing with the people that I just mentioned. Then we have product, which consists of community and events, right? Nati changed from events to community and also does some communications. But now I am very much involved in the event side with Karim, who has over 15 years of experience in events, branding, working with luxury brands, and he's actually building a very similar community as well, a global one, and he feels super aligned. And actually the very interesting thing is that most of the people that joined came from the community. They felt truly aligned with the mission, which is amazing. And the surprising thing, and one of the questions I've been getting a lot, is how did I afford these people, especially in the early beginnings when I still wasn't making as much money. And obviously at the very beginning, it helped to have a strong mission, a vision that people believed in. But I was also letting people work on their other projects, on their other side hustles on the side. So some people were working part-time, other people were doing maybe 80% of the time. And there was always ways in which we were kind of helping all each other out. And now finally, 1 year later, we're really getting to a point where, we're all finally getting paid what we deserve to be paid for the value we bring into the business. And we also had some other people joining here and there for some freelance projects, like for example, Nico, who built the entire tech infrastructure for Charisma, or Isidre here behind the camera, helping us document the entire journey again. Every single month is the first one, for many yet to come. And just wait for the next lesson, because this one was a very, very important one. Back in March, we made one of the hardest decisions we've made so far, which was actually to get rid of the space and the co-working that actually put us on the map 2 months after we made the announcement. Why? Well, at the time we had 2 memberships. And the only difference between one and the other was that one actually gave you access to the co-working and the other one didn't. Both still gave you access to the events in the community, which were the things that we were really excelling in. And after reading the book Good to Great, which talks about, really finding the thing that you're really, really good at, the thing that where you can really differentiate yourself, to really then hone down on that, I realized that maybe getting rid of that space was actually the right thing to do. We did it, we tried it, it was very, very scary. And suddenly in April, we started getting 1 new member every single day on average. That happened in May, that happened in June, and now we're only halfway through July, and we've already gotten 50 members so far. I wouldn't say it was just purely that decision, right? Which was, at the time, people were also getting confused around, why are we a co-working space? Are we a community? What are we? But it was also really simplifying our offer and clarifying our message. These were some of the most important things. And then obviously having the team behind my back, supporting us and making sure that we kept on growing. And actually, my mother sometimes still tells me, sometimes when she sees me like very stressed out or just working a lot, she's like, Mark, maybe this is not the right path. Maybe you should get a job, something a little bit more stable. Obviously she's doing it with good intentions, right? But even if I were to fail today, even if I were to stop, I already feel like I've already succeeded. Because I feel like I've done in this last year and the previous years before then, I feel like I've done 10 MBAs at the best fucking universities in the world. I've met so many incredible people. These are people, not just business connections that may open up a lot of new opportunities in the future, but these are also a lot of people that I will invite in my wedding, These are people that I can count on, that I can, that really are truly like-minded to me. And at the end of the day, with Charisma, what we're trying to do is create an environment where you can grow, because your environment is everything. And I feel like I have created the most optimal environment of them all. An environment that will pay dividends long into the future. So obviously I will not quit tomorrow. This is just the beginning of a very, very long journey. And I encourage you to subscribe, because now we will be posting 1 new video every single month. And so if you're curious, if you have doubts, if there's things that were not really clear, just share them in the comments. I will answer everything as soon as possible. And stay tuned, because the next videos are going to be amazing. The amount of things that are going to happen over the next few months are going to blow your mind, at least my mind. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. See you very soon. Life is good.